All right. So, welcome everyone for Sunday afternoon class for Bhagavad Gita. So, this series is for 18 weekend and 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. We have already finished 4 chapters in last 4 weeks. Now, today we'll be taking the fifth chapter. Before that, a small recap of what did we understood in the last chapter. We understood the difference between Swadharma and Sanatan Dharma or Nitya Dharma. So, Swadharma is again the part of the two types of dharma that everybody has to do. The Swadharma is a dharma which we all follow with respect to the body. Whatever body relationship we have, say we have a wife, I am a husband, we have a children, I am a son, I am a mother, I am an employee, I am a soldier, I am a environmentalist, I am a doctor, I'm an engineer. With all those designations that we have based on this body, a baggage of duty comes along with that. And we need to do the justice for all those responsibilities, all those hats that we are wearing with respect to this body. That is the one of the duties. The another duty is it's called Sanatan Dharma or Nitya Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means the duty which is not related to body, but which is related to this soul, which is itself is eternal. So when the soul is eternal, so the duty of the soul is also eternal. The Swadharma is, however, temporary. I am a male in this birth, but I may be a female in the next birth. I may be an Indian in this birth. Maybe I'm African in the next birth or the last birth. Maybe I am born into a Hindu family this birth, and I am saying Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Om Namo Venkateshaya, Har Har Mahadev, whatever. But maybe in the last birth, I would be saying Allahu Akbar. Who knows? I may be saying Huleleu in Christianity. I may be getting a birth in that family, right? So Swadharma is temporary. It always changes respect to country, respect to gender, with respect to identity, position, power, body. It always changes. It doesn't remain constant. But Sanatan Dharma is permanent. And when we say Sanatan Dharma, it's a misconception that we feel we are talking about only Hindus. No. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that Sanatan Dharma applies to everyone who is a soul. And it never says that the soul will only born in the family of Hindus. No. Somebody who is born in the family of Muslims, Christians, Jews, all of them, they are soul and they are part of Krishna. So they all are part of Sanatan Dharma. Maybe they don't agree with us, but that's fine. That is their vision. But our vision should be very clear. Everybody is a soul by default, and everybody has to serve the God. Whatever way, God has given them the way. If you are into Islam, follow Islam properly. If you are into Christianity, follow Christianity properly. Don't try to bend the rules to satisfy something else. That is wrong. So that is what Sanatan Dharma is, the duty of a soul, which is to surrender to the Supreme. Because we are the controller, but He is the supreme controller. Just like we try to control things in our house, in our family, society, office, organization, whatever we are trying to control. Supreme Lord is again controlling everything. He's controlling the planets floating in the space. He's controlling the movement of rains. He's controlling the fire and all the elements around us. So how did we got this quality of controlling? Because that quality comes from us, from our Supreme Father. He is the Supreme Controller. That's why we are part of His, we are Amsha. Mamevamsho jivaloke sarvabhuta sanatana. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, later chapters. Mamevansho. The soul is my part, my eternal part. So the duty is to serve. That is what Krishna says. And then when we moved on, Krishna talked about going forward that this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was not spoken very first time in Bhagavad Gita in the battle of Kurukshetra. He reveals that it was spoken to Arjuna. And before that, it was spoken to Suryadev, Vivashwan, with the beginning of this creation. And from Suryadev, it came down to Manu. From Manu, it came down to Ishwaku. And therefore, it was supposed to carry through a authorized disciple succession. An authorized bona fide guru should pass it to disciple and it should come forward. That is what the objective of the spiritual knowledge. But then Krishna says again in the next verse that this knowledge seems to be lost over the period of time. That's why, Arjun, I am starting this chain again through you. And then he said, you need a guru to understand this. If you don't take a guru, you'll not understand this. Because to understand this knowledge, it has to come from me. From me to a guru, to his disciple, to his disciple, to his disciple, and you will be getting that disciple as your guru. So this is how it should be flown across. Guru Parampara. Just like we understood that a doctor, to become a doctor, you need an affiliation from an institute which is authorized, bona fide. You need a teacher who is, again, mastered in that subject matter. Then, if you give sufficient number of time, sufficient number of years, then you become perfect. And then you will be called a doctor. You cannot become doctor on your own. You need to undergo with the training. Then Krishna talked about what is the purpose of his appearance in this material world. He said, I come to deliver my devotees primarily, and then I also come to vanquish the demons. And in the end, I establish the dharma. So these were the things that Krishna has discussed in the last classes. Now, after this recap, we are moving to chapter number 5. So this chapter has broadly 4 segments. An analogy on water on the lotus leaf. Who are the 3 doers? What is the equal vision we should have? And what is the peace formula? So, shloka number 5.1 and 5.2. Arjun said, O Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work. Then again, you recommend me work with devotion. Now, will you please kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? So, remember in chapter 2, Krishna said, Arjun said to Krishna that you are a soul. This is your duty. Swadharma, do that, do that. And then going forward, Krishna also spoke about Sanatan Dharma, the duty of a soul to surrender. So Arjun got confused. What should I do? There are two duties. And he thought that he has to choose one of them. That's where Krishna said the second shloka. He said, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, work and devotion is better than renunciation of the work. What did Krishna said? Krishna said that your work to renounce is also good. The work with the devotion is also good. But of the two, the devotional service is better than renunciation. Why did Krishna say that? The reason being, renunciation itself comes with a warning. What is that warning? We'll discuss. Let's take a couple of examples. There was a rishi in other yugas who was very, very well versed in the spiritual sciences. He used to do a lot of austerity. He used to do his sadhana properly. And many, many years he was serving with renunciation, not the love of God. One day, he was taking a dip in the holy Yamuna river. There, when he was inside the river, he saw two fishes mating with each other. Seeing that, he got a thought. He got a thought. What if I enjoy this pleasure for a while? And then he came out. And then he was thinking about this that scene which he is seeing in the morning. And he went to a king and asked, I need your daughter to marry. And that rishi had a lot of respect in the whole town. And the king also decided to wed his daughters to the king. Now, the king was marrying the daughter, and then the Muni and the wife both were very happily living. They were enjoying the pleasure. Then, after a couple of years, the children also got married, and then they got the grandchilds, and they were also enjoying. One day, he was thinking about his past life. How did he live his life? Then he recalled the same moment where he was doing his sadhana, tapasya, but then he got distracted by seeing the fishes. So when he got distracted by seeing the fish, he immediately got stuck and realized what was the path I was supposed to walk and what is the path I have taken. My journey was straight away towards towards the towards the moksha. But then that one thought distracted me and I have wasted so many years of my life. He got stunned, seeing that one thought distracted me from my path. And then he again renounced everything and started love for God. Another example came with the great Muni called Vishwamitra. When Vishwamitra decided to do tapasya, the Indra got offended, got jealous, and he sends the heavenly damsels, apsaras, to distract the Muni. And that Muni, Vishwamitra, he got distracted and he got lusty seeing the apsaras. Then he fell down. Once he realized, what did he do? After that, He became very focused and he tried to get the love of the God. So, what happens is, if we are only focusing on the renunciation, no, I don't want this, I'll leave this, I'll leave this, I'll leave this, that has a danger of always falling down, because that path has no mercy from our Supreme Father, because we are on our own. There is no strength given by the Supreme Lord, because we are not in love with Him. We are not getting that devotional love from Him, and He does not bless us in that way. So, Krishna is saying both the paths are good, but then devotional service is better than renunciation, because Krishna protects us in the journey whenever we are falling down. But in case of renunciation, that has always the risk. And then the next shloka, Krishna says, Sanyasastu mahabaho dukham aptum ayogatah yoga yukta munir brahma na chirenadi gacchati. Merely renouncing all activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. The same conclusion that we were speaking on the last slide. Krishna himself is confirming that only renunciation, that I will not do this, I will not do this, I will not do this, but at the same time, you are not developing the love for the Godhead. Krishna is saying that cannot make one happy. But a person who is into devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. So we should have a positive approach towards a life. We should not think to do a bhakti or to devotional service, I have to leave everything. No. Whatever state of mind you are in, whatever personal, family, financial, political situation you are in, that's okay. That is part of life. Nobody is asking you to leave everything. Just add Krishna to your life. And then you will see the magic in your life when you start doing that. But then, is it easy? No, it's not easy. Because whenever we do something, our mind distracts us, right? That's what Krishna says in the next shloka. What is the shloka here? Brahmanya adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yah lipyate na sapapena padma patram evam bhasha. One who performs duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by the sinful actions, as the lotus leaf is touched by the water. So there is a nature of our mind, and we'll see today in the later slides. So the nature of our mind is to get attached. Whatever put our mind into, mind has a nature of feeling. So mind, if we like something, we get attached, right? Irrespective of seeing if that attachment leads for us in a good manner or the bad manner. If somebody is attached to taking drugs, he would be feeling good, right? But then there is a lot of cost. You have addictions, you have family cost, the social cost, right? You get addicted so much that you ignore all other departments of life. Why? Because you got attached to the drugs. You get attached to the liquor and you become alcoholic. Then there is a cost. You become attached to working in office, over ambition for 12 hours, 13 hours. There is a cost that you are paying. You are ignoring your health, You are ignoring your family. You are ignoring the society. You are ignoring your Supreme Lord. So all these cost gives you the reaction. That's what Krishna says here. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by the sinful actions, as lotus leaf is untouched by the water. Right? Now, there's a good example here. One day, and it is a time when Lord Ram was there, Janak Maharaj, who is a father-in-law of Lord Ram, one day many sadhus come to his palace with a great question, because Janak Maharaj was known to be a householder, a grihastha, who was perfectly doing his duties as a Kshatriya, as a householder. At the same time, he was a great devotee of the Lord. So the sadhus were always amazed what is and how Janak Maharaj makes a great balance. And in that awe, they went and asked this question to Janak Maharaj. Then Maharaj Janak didn't answer verbally that day. Rather, he invited them that come to my palace tomorrow. I want to give all of you, a feast, and then you'll get the answer. Then the sadhus agreed. They said, "Okay, if this king wants to serve us, that's fine, and we'll get our answers." So tomorrow, the next day, all the sadhus came to the palace, and then there was a place in the palace where Maharaj Janak already arranged some food plates for them, and they were serving him prasadam. And when the sadhus sat there and the prasadam was served, and they were looking around left, right, up, down, because there were different places. They have never seen that place. And to his surprise, their surprise, what happened? They look upward towards the roof. And what did they see? They see a very sharp sword hanging from the roof, pointing to the head of the all the sadhus. For each of the sadhus, there was one sword just above them, hanging with the rope, slight rope. It was moving with the air. Seeing that, the sadhus become a little frightened. They thought, what is happening? This king has called us for feast, and he has put a sword on our head. What if the sword fall down? We are the immediate target. It is just tied to a very small thread. What should we do? They were very, very nervous, very frightened, though they didn't question King Janak immediately, and they were finishing their prasadam. They were finishing their prasadam and looking upward. They are finishing their prasadam, eating their food, and thinking, what if, what if, what if, thinking about the sword all the time, all the time, all the time. And they finished their prasadam. After that, they went off from the place and they were relieved. Then, out of curiosity, they asked Maharaj Janak, Maharaj Janak, what is this? You called us for the feast, and now we saw a sword hanging there. What was your intention? We didn't understand. And Maharaj Janak said, you didn't understood? That was the answer to your question that you asked me yesterday. What was the question? How did Janak Maharaj make a balance? And Janak Maharaj asked, when you were looking, when you were eating that prasadam, constantly, though you were eating, but your mind And your intelligence, your heart was always thinking about the sword and sword and sword. Right? Isn't it? This agreed, yes. And then Maharaj Janak said the golden words, that's how I remember my Lord. I do my duty, whatever responsibility I have, 100%. But my mind always stayed in devotion for Krishna or Lord Rama. That's how I'm able to make a fine balance in my activities without attachment, and everything goes so perfect. That's what they got the answer. And that is what Krishna is saying here. One who performs his duty without attachment, right? He will be untouched by the water. He will be protected. That was Krishna's way of saying that. The same thing was done by Jatayu in Ramayana. Jatayu knew that who was this Ravan. He was Lankapati, Lankesh. He had so much of strength that he could lift the mighty Kailash, and Lord Shiva was impressed. He knew that he is taking Mata Sita unlawfully. He knew if he'll go to save, he will be dead for sure because Lankesh has so much of enormous power and he was just a bird. Even knowing that, he went and fought with Ravan and in the end got death. He did thought, I know the results will be bad. Based on that, I should not go. He was not driven by his result. He was driven by his duty. So duty is more important than our results because results is anyway not in our hand. Yeah. And then Krishna says, Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi navadware pure dehi naiva kurvanna karyan. When the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions, he resides happily in the city of nine gates, this material body, neither working nor causing works to be done. So Krishna has confirmed that that person who controls his nature of overjudging, controlling tendency, fault finding attitude, attachment unnecessary, somebody who does all these things and try to control that nature and leave it to the Supreme Lord, mentally give away all those fruits, all those anxiety, all those stress. And he says, Krishna will take care. My job is to do the duty. Result is his hand. He resides happily when there is no stress. When there is no stress, you are happy. Right now, we are stressful because we feel that this should be done by me. This result, I should get it, irrespective of people, circumstances, situations. No, we need it. So we are so obsessed with the result, we forget we have not full control over everything. We don't have full control over nature. We don't have full control over other human beings, other souls. We don't have control over this entire ecosystem. A little bit of control we can have, but that doesn't necessarily entitle you for all the results. So you will be always in stress. So the secret formula is if you want to be happy, focus on your duties, then the results there. Now, the second segment, three doers. In this, Krishna says, Indriyani Pranayahur indriyebhyah param manah manasastu para buddhir yo buddhih paratastusah. The working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And the soul is even higher than the intelligence. So here, Krishna is trying to make us understand the hierarchy. Whatever happens, why does it happen? That is what Krishna is trying to make us understand. He says the matter, dull matter, is inferior to the working senses. For example, if you are in an environment and there is a false, a foul smell going around, so your nose immediately sense it. So what is the difference between this phone, this laptop, against this nose? This will also get into this earth after it get destroyed. This body, this nose will also get destroyed over the period of time. The cells will be destroyed. The foundation is cells and the atom. So both are material. The one thing that the nose has and others does not have, matter does not have, is the ability to sense the smell. That matter does not have. So a matter is inferior to senses. Now, this nose is getting that sense that there is a foul smell in the environment. And but can he choose not to smell it? No. He does not have right to say, I will not smell. That power is having with the mind. That is what Krishna says. Mind is higher than the senses. Now, once that smell goes into our nose, now it goes to the mind. Mind feels good or bad, and then minds decide, should I have to stay or should I have to leave this place? So mind is higher. And to control the mind, you need intelligence. Intelligence is higher than the mind. A great mind, a sound intelligence will always suggest to move away. But a stupid intelligence will always say, I'll stay back. So, intelligence is higher than the mind. The science says mind and intelligence are the same. But we have seen in chapter 3, chapter 2, Krishna says, mind, intelligence, and ego are three different elements, subtle elements, which have their own identity. They are not you, they are different. So mind decide. So the matter is sensed by the senses, and the mind decide what to do, and then intelligence takes the correct decision. And Krishna says in the final, the soul is even higher than the intelligence. Soul means we. We are higher than this. We have all the power than this. It's intelligence. We need to feel that. But what happens when this hierarchy changes? If the intelligence is working below mind, so mind always works in a way which is feeling good, do that, feeling bad, don't do that. But the mind, well, intelligence always guides him that no, this is wrong. The rational mind, the scientists call them intelligence, a rational mind. A rational mind always find the logics and see what is the repercussions of doing this or not doing this. It does an analytical study of the consequences that we get. That's why we should always have a rational, logical mind, which Krishna says is our intelligence. And that hierarchy should not be disturbed. Another example, if you have diabetes and I put sugar, sweets in front of you, What will the mind say? I saw that, and then the message went to mind. Mind said, oh, it's sweet. I used to love it. I should have it. What will the intelligence say? The rational mind says, it says, no, you have diabetes. The sugar level will spike. Don't eat. But whatever will the outcome, whether you eat or doesn't eat, will decide, is your mind intelligence working below mind or above mind? So we should always see our intelligence is always working. And whenever there is a problem in this hierarchy, the result is chaos, utter chaos in the society. The next two shloka, Krishna says, Dhayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodho Vijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha Smriti Bhramshad Buddhi Nasho Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati. And this is a process in which Krishna says, how do somebody fall? It doesn't happen immediately. If I want something and I get it, there are very high chances I become greedy to have that. And the greed doesn't stop. Right now, we are seeing America has attacked Iran. The primary reason is the oil. Other things are made up. Before that, he attacked Iraq as well for the oil. So he got the oil, but then he got greedy. Then he took away the president of Venezuela again for the oil. Right? So this greed doesn't stop. If he'll say, my desires will be fulfilled, I will be happy. No, the greed comes with that. To have more, to have more, to have more. But the other way, when the greed or the desire doesn't get fulfilled, we become angry, isn't it? Right now, when it's attacked Iran, he thought things will be the same as Iraq, as Venezuela, and he'll have full control. But then he's not able to manage the Iran war. And that's why he's angry. And in his anger, what's he doing? It is calling all of their allies and bashing them. NATO is not good, this is not good, you countries are fool, right? And you're rippling away your friends and your relationship, tarnishing the relationship. Because Brahmashad Buddhi Nasho, the intelligence is lost due to anger. That is what Krishna says here. From anger, complete delusion arises. From delusion, bewilderment of memory. When the memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and one falls down. That is what happened. That is a bigger example, but we all in our life will also have these situations wherein we'll always become victim of either greed or by anger. So Krishna says, be careful. Now the third segment, which is three doers, Jiva, Paramatma, and Prakriti. So as a Jiva, as a soul, we all are free to have our desires. We have a free will to desire whatever we want. And when Paramatma, who is on our heart, listening to our desire, feeling to our desire, witnessing our desire, decides whether to sanction it or not. And once it sanctions it, then the nature fulfills that desire. For example, you are in the bank and you went to the bank and asked for 5,000 rupees from the account. And this desire was fulfilled by the cashier there, and he gives the money in you. So You desire, Jiva desire, Paramatma, the sanctioning body based on your karma, permits, and then the money comes out from the nature, Prakriti, from the bank account. Other way around, if you if you went there and asked for the money and there is no money in the account and the cashier does not give you, he said, no, you don't have 5,000 in your account. I cannot give you. Now, what has happened here? The jiva decided, you decided, desire something, but it is not sanctioned because your karma doesn't allow you. You don't have enough credits in your bank account. You don't have enough good karma in your account to enjoy the birth in a family of a great businessman so that you are rich from the day one. You don't have. That sanction was not given. So you were not given the money. So you are not, the Prakriti has not fulfilled your desire. So these are the three doers of any work that we do. Then Krishna speak about equal vision, 5.18. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva swapake cha panditah samadarshinaha. Panditah samadarshinaha. Panditah samadarshinaha. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and the gentle Brahman, a cow, an elephant, a dog eater, and a dog. So, if we all are soul, so we should see everybody as a way that they are also soul. That is Krishna saying an equal vision. I see a dog that he's also soul, just like me. I see an elephant, he's also soul, just like me. An insect, he's also soul. A mosquito, he's also soul, just like me. I am in this big body, he's into the smaller body, different types of body. That is called Pandita Samdarshina. That is the definition of Pandit. If somebody calls you, you are a Pandit, that means you should have the vision that you're seeing everybody with the same vision. But, but the treatment should not be the vision. Treatment should be as per the body. So, I go to jungle and see a lion. I will not go and hug him and say, oh, I am a soul, you are also a soul, we have a supreme father. You know, I should love you. No, it's a stupidity. He will eat you and kill you. You cannot go to a snake and hug him. It will bite you. So the vision should be the same, that they all are soul. We all have a common father. We should not hurt each other. But at the same time, we should have a treatment according to the body in which they are in. But right now, what do? We don't, we do just opposite, ulta. So we get for example, we get a dog in our house. We love them. We love them. We give him equal respect, equal love for like a human. But then we don't consider him soul. We consider him dog. You're a dog, I'm a human, but I'll have same love for you like a human. That is exactly opposite in Kali Yuga we do. That is what Krishna is saying here. Now, the last section, the peace formula. Now, what is a peace formula in all these chaos where you don't know how to have equal vision? We do ulta, we get attached by our work, we get lusty by a desire. When it doesn't get fulfilled, we get angry, right? The renunciation without devotion makes us fall down. We got distracted. The mind works below intelligence works below mind. So within all this chaos of this entire world that Krishna says in this world, what is the peace formula? Can you live happy with all this condition that I have mentioned with you? Can you? No. Then what is the peace formula? Krishna is in Bhagavad Gita given all the situation in front of you, and then he's giving you the solution. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gnatva mam shantim rachati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material nature, miseries. Bhoktaram yagna tapsam. Krishna is saying, I am the real enjoyer. You are a soul which is subordinate to me. But then you want to become master. If the house is run by the servants and they try to become like a master, what will happen to the house? They don't have great vision. Why I'm running this house? They are not the owner, how to deal with the guests in the house, but they are trying to become master. So similarly, we are not sure about this entire world. We don't know what to do in the best perfect manner. So this world is not our proprietor, is not our property. So the owner knows better how to deal with this house, how to run the house. But we want to become master and get the feeling of the real enjoyable. Just like a master orders and things get done. Now we want to have the same feeling that I will order, the things will get done. But with this turbulent mind, the hierarchy problem, and all other challenges of this world, we cannot do it. And then again, we will be suffering. That is what Krishna says. Let me be the master and you be the servant. Then he says, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, that I am the real controller. Maybe you have some qualities of control, but I am the real controller. Acknowledge that. The moment you decide, no, I am the ultimate doer, whatever I want, I can get it. हिंदी में what do they call it? मैं अपना भाग्य विधाता हूं. मैं अपने हाथ से अपने कर्म लिखता हूं, फल लिखता हूं. Right? Krishna is saying, don't do that mistake. You have some controlling power, but you are not the real controller. Don't do that mistake. The result will be again chaos and suffering. He says, Suhidam Sarvabhutanam. I am the friend of all living entities. So, this relationship between the servant and the master is very different from what we see in this world. Krishna is saying, you are subordinate to me, but then I love you, all of you. And I am the friend of all the living entities. So, as a friend, whatever I say, try to understand via Guru and apply in your life. Then your suffering will end and you will be happy. And that is what the summary of this chapter. Hare Krishna. Any comments? Do you like this chapter? What you didn't like? Any questions? You are free to ask.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It was a good learning.
Thank you, Mataji. So, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can message me and then we can discuss it over phone. Or if you have any personal situation where you don't know how to act, We can guide you based on Bhagavad Gita and teachings of Lord Krishna. And rest assured, we'll pray for you, and then we'll all get happy, right? So we'll stop our session here. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patidanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah anantakoti vaishnavrind ki jai jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Have a blessed day. See you next Sunday 12 p.m. for the next chapter.